should be, when you're going ones versus twos. So, we stayed healthy. I thought, both sides competed well, and I honestly thought it turned out about like it should have. I was extremely excited about the crowd. I thought the crowd was unbelievable. I mean, it just keeps getting better each year, and that's something that we certainly don't take lightly, because support brings energy, and energy brings good results.
Bryce Petty looked like he was growing confidence out there, especially once he kind of got used to the wind and everything that was going on. Threw a lot of nice balls.
But if you want a spring game, you're going to have wind, So that's just, that's the way it is. And, he did extremely well. Really the last week, 10 days, he's really come on and kind of, grabbed hold of what we feel like he can do and should do, and has kind of embraced it. So, he's getting out of the spring with a good feeling, and now we've just got to carry it on in the fall camp and then the first football game.
Coach, you said you weren't quite ready to give him the keys of the car yet, but is this starting to be more and more his team?
I think without question. I've always, said since before we started spring ball, he's the guy. He's got to be the guy. It's his fourth spring here. He knows what we're doing, and it's time to turn potential into reality and production, and that's what he's doing. The only way you can have a chance to do something is to be given that chance. So he's getting that chance, and he'll take full advantage of it because he's mature, he's hungry, and he's very able.
Art, how much a difference is that being in his fourth spring now?
There's two or three things you can't buy, and experience is one of them. So being out there today with the wind, with the crowd and with the atmosphere, didn't bother him, didn't faze him, because he's been there before and he's seen it before. So that's something that's a big advantage for him. That's something you got to use. If you got experience, you got to use it.
How deadly of a 1-2 combo can Lake and Glasgow be in this league?
I think last year speaks for that. One of them had 1,000, another had 940, and I don't know if there's many places in America where you got two backs, right around 1,000 yards, and we fully expect them both to go over 1,000 this year. So I think that's a big combination for us. I think it certainly helps our QB, and it certainly helps our defense. So that's something that we've got to do, and that's something we've always done is, we'll run the football.
And it all starts up front with that big O-line.
No question. And those guys got to keep playing. It starts with energy, it starts with scheme, it starts with toughness and intelligence, and, hopefully we have all four of those ingredients.
You had to make some changes in the O-line. How do you feel like that's coming along?
It's coming along. Anytime you lose a guy that's 6'6", 315 pounds, that started 13 games for you, that's extremely physical and tough, and got raised by Danny Watkins, then you've got a good football player, and you need that guy in your locker room. You need him on the field, and that's why he'll be back ready to go mid-season, because that's the type of person he is. But Jubert's done a great job going inside at center. Dez has done a great job at guard, and Kelvin's done well at tackle. So those guys were asked to come in there and do a job, and they've done it.
Art, was it just a matter of Clay getting back into football mode and stuff that's taken him a couple of years? He seems like he's really contributing now.
He's been really good. And I said it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's honestly a guy that, it's hard to get on the field as a receiver here. And you say, well, why this, why that? I wonder why. We were pretty productive last year, on Saturdays, throwing and catching the ball, and you got to be exceptional to get on the field here. And Clay certainly has those qualities. So it's not a surprise to us. It's just it's a blessing for him that he's been given the opportunity and he's taken advantage of it. He's a really good football player.
He mentioned that you recruited him when you were at Houston, giving him a second chance to walk onto this program. What do you think it means to him, and the fact that you gave him that chance?
I just think it means everything, and it should. He's a guy that, first of all, is very mature. So, there is no off-the-field issues. He's a guy that takes care of his business, classroom, off the field, with his body, with his nutrition, with his training. So, he's going to come in tip-top condition mentally and physically every time he comes to practice, and that's something that you can never take for granted, because what you put in is what you get out, and he's putting the right things in physically and mentally, and he'll put out a lot of positive results for us next fall.
Is this the deepest the defense has been at this point in the year since you've been here?
No question. And that's really the first thing that we noticed. We came out in the spring, is just the depth of our football team. We have Big 12 quality depth right now, and that's something that takes a while to develop, and unfortunately we're at that point. We're not getting there, we're there. So we have good people across the board, at least 2 deep.